We are almost upon Hell in a Cell. And coming up has been, this might be potentially SmackDown's best pay-per-view, but it's hard to compete with No Mercy 2016. But they have an opportunity here, with maybe one match sucking out of all of them. Okay, maybe two. But let's get right into it. The kickoff on the final SmackDown before Hell in a Cell, it was announced that Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, who had just returned a few weeks ago, would be taking on the Hype Bros in a tag team match. Now, okay, I'm curious to know, like, there is somewhat of a story here. Like, it's not Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Like, everyone speculated that Shelton Benjamin would turn on Chad Gable, but it looks like they're not going to do that. Instead, the Hype Brothers might be switching, because they've been expressing frustration. They're saying that they have to do something drastic, and that can only mean one thing: heel turn. And really, yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 tag teams left. Like, the Fashion Files are scheduled for Hell in a Cell, but according to reports that they might do Pulp Fiction. Except without all the curse words. So, I'm pretty sure that's going to be difficult. So, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, like, this could be an interesting matchup with the Hype Brothers, but I don't expect it to steal a show like, you know, New Day and the Usos did at SummerSlam, until the Fatal 4-Way match, then we had a problem. So, yeah, I'm not expecting a miracle kickoff show with an actual, oh my god, that was an actual good match I could rewatch over and over again. But instead we might get the Hype Brothers turning heel in this, like being the straw that breaks the camel's back for them. And I'm a little surprised by that. Like, Zack Ryder, he's in need of a character overhaul, but Mojo Rawley, I would think, we never see him be a heel, as far as I know. He could have probably been one of the independents if he was there. Let me just do a double check on that, but, like, I could be wrong. Yeah, he never worked in the independent scene. He's pro WWE. So, you can't make that argument. So, anyways, they're most likely going to turn heel. I expect that, honestly. And Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin will have a feud with them, which means there will be 2 tag team feuds going on, I think. So, let's drop into the main card of the show. Randy Orton versus Rusev. Okay, has anyone noticed something off about this feud? Let me sum it up. Rusev loses a match, goes back home to Bulgaria, says he feels ashamed and his family look down on him, and he says he's going to restore his honor. And I'm thinking, how is he a bad guy again? Like, this whole feud, like, okay, they tried their damnedest to try and make him a bad guy. Like, see, he's the villain with the whole celebration ceremony for Rusev Day. But here's the thing: Rusev wrecked that, probably intentionally, when he told the mayor. I know for a fact it's not really the mayor of his hometown in Bulgaria, but come on, let's just go ahead and I'll just call him the mayor. He told the mayor, like he could have attacked Randy Orton and beat the holy hell out of him, but instead he went for, "Mayor, quickly get out of the ring." Like, that's not something a heel would do. He would just attack. But no, he said, "No, you know what? I'm gonna go and protect the mayor. He needs to get out of the ring. He needs to be safe," and ate the RKO. So I'm like, wait, what's the end game result here? And now he's teamed up with Aiden English, so does that mean Aiden English is going to become WWE champion before him? Like Jinder Mahal did, and he teamed up with Rusev. And that really should be questioning some things. But yeah, Rusev, okay, the Randy Orton defeating Rusev, that was 10 seconds. Rusev defeating Orton, that was also nearly 10 seconds. So, a lot of people started speculating, is this going to be a last man standing match? Like, it was rumored since during house shows, Rusev and Randy Orton were fighting in last man standing matches. So, wouldn't it make sense to make a last man standing match? But, no, in fact, this has the potential to be the third worst match of the night, Mostly why I say that is because, not because they're not talented, but it's because Randy Orton doesn't have motivation. Not in character, I mean in reality. Because Randy Orton has been expressing he's becoming pissed off at being a face. He wants to be a heel again, and I understand to an extent on that. Like, everything about him just screams villain. Like, really, who's gonna cheer for a guy with skull tattoos on him? At least in Vince's eyes. So, yeah, Randy Orton, he might not put his all into this match. In fact, he could probably give two shits, since he has been known to stall momentum to an extent when it comes to matches with the rest holds or something like that. But yeah, Randy Orton, he is probably going to lose this match and probably not give it his all. Not questioning Randy Orton's motivation, but still, like, there's a huge chance he might not give it his all unless he is allowed to turn heel. So do a double turn. Rusev being the hero of Bulgaria and earning the fans' admiration, and Randy Orton slithering back into his Legend Killer Viper gimmick. Also crazy psychotic Orton. So, yeah, they could do that, but I'm pretty sure WWE's going to be insistent that Rusev being a foreigner is evil because Vince is a xenophobic bastard. And Randy Orton is a good guy because he's from America, despite the fact that he disobeyed direct orders in the military, went AWOL for a couple of weeks, and then disobeyed an order again, and served prison time, military prison. How is he a good guy again? Yeah. So, yeah, this whole feud, like, if you take into Randy Orton's both in-ring life and personal life, he has been known not to be the good dude, and definitely does not seem to fit the face type. Rusev, however, he seems every bit a face more than he can be a heel. Like, when he beat Randy Orton in 10 seconds, he was acting all goofy, smiling, acting all proud and comedic. And I'm like, why isn't Rusev being this? Or, you know, being a good guy? Because everything about Rusev is screaming good guy lately. So, yeah, this whole feud is just confusing. It's not the most confusing feud. Oh, no. That goes to Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura for hypocritical reasoning. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Now let's get to Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, for several weeks, Dolph Ziggler has come out with this gimmick of impersonating other gimmicks, breaking the fourth wall again. And he impersonates other wrestlers. Like, he impersonated Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Naomi, and NoDQ.com got heat for that, saying he does better than Naomi in terms of entrances. Why? Anyways. Okay. Let's see. He portrayed the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, and I thought, yeah, that might be in bad taste for people. In fact, wasn't Dana Warrior at the show when he portrayed the Ultimate Warrior, and considering the tragedy that happened befalling on him, like, he comes back after so many years and after so much bad blood, that he comes back, ends all that hatred, and puts it behind him, and he dies the next night. Yeah, you see why people would probably feel mad about that? But no, we got to ignore car accident deaths and heart attack deaths. We got to ignore illnesses and whatnot. We need to ignore those two prominent deaths. We need to talk about how he impersonated the Undertaker. That is the cardinal sin in wrestling. Because no one should disrespect a dead man. Okay, I get that. I get why people are so defensive when he impersonated the Undertaker. There were, like, several big commandments in wrestling. You don't be a politician. You don't have an ego the size of Hulk Hogan. You don't go ahead and serve yourself. You don't go ahead and insult the dead. And you don't, and apparently the biggest commandment was, thou should not insult the Undertaker unless it's the storyline. I get that part, but, like, if Dolph Ziggler is going to get the Holy beating shit out of him by The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, which is highly unlikely because of two reasons. One, he's retired, and the second is hip replacement. I'm like, what was the point of that? And here's the thing. Undertaker is known for his in-ring performances, along with his gimmick. So he can't claim that. He can't claim it on Shawn Michaels. He can't claim it on Triple H. Those three, and Macho Man Randy Savage, who was a perfectionist when it comes to in-ring performances. Like, granted, the fans probably don't care because it's all flash for them from time to time. But, yeah, two people are dead. They mock them, and one person is a legend to many, and pretty much, okay, here's my ultimate opinion. Everyone talks about Mount Rushmore. I know I'm going off topic, but about the wrestling Mount Rushmore. There's Hulk Hogan, there's The Rock, there's Austin, and there's John Cena. Take out Austin and Rock, because if Undertaker didn't stay, there wouldn't be an Austin and Rock. Like, granted, they probably could have been here, but without Taker to put them over, there wouldn't be those two guys, so you could say that he helped save the Attitude Era, not just Austin and Rock. Okay, also Bret Hart may have inadvertently helped because of the screw job that happened, and Shawn Michaels, but mostly it's Undertaker. So, let's get rid of those two, all due respect to Austin and Rock, but let's put the Undertaker because he's the conscience of WWE, as everyone likes to call him as. So let's do that. But anyways, Ziggler gets confronted by Bobby Roode, who disappeared for weeks on end in dark matches, joining Sami Zayn in the "Why am I even here? I was NXT champion. I was main eventing NXT shows." Yeah, he was there on that bench for a while. He complimented Ziggler's work, and then Ziggler asked Ziggler to prove that he is the best in a match at Hell in a Cell, which Ziggler accepted, and then goes on to further mock The Undertaker by screaming out, "They invest in!" And then Bobby Roode cuts him off, thank God. And everyone also been saying they wanted him to dress up as CM Punk. That would have gotten huge heat, but here's the problem. That probably wouldn't have worked because everyone was expecting it. But the fact that he didn't do it was actually surprising, since they like to go out of the way to attack Punk in every single way. So, yeah, Bobby Roode has now a feud with Ziggler, which probably will last okay, accordingly, this is Dolph Ziggler's last month in WWE. He might be leaving soon. There's another theory I might have. He might leave at Survivor Series because with, there's rumors being Team Shane versus Team Owens. If they do go that route, Ziggler might join Team Owens. But, like I said, that's highly possible. That's a possibility, but not likely. So, yeah. And then Ziggler once again mocks the gimmick entrances, and Mike Kanellis is doing nothing, so that's fun. Yeah. And Marina Callis is having a baby. Hurrah! So, yeah. Ziggler and Bobby Roode, they have potential to be a great match, but Bobby Roode's style of in-ring performance, it's more of the slow, old-school style. At least how I see it. So, whereas Ziggler is more fast-paced, Bobby Roode goes for a more slower approach. So they need to be given a lot of time in order for the match to fully get into gear. Or else we'll just have really, really, really bad matches that could have been so good, but they cut the time short. Kind of shows the discriminatory nature of main rosterville. Now let's get to a match that has the potential to surprisingly be a bad match. AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin for the United States Championship. After Baron Corbin's derailed push by the hands of Creative and John Cena, He's now chasing after the U.S. title, and they keep bringing up the whole, he failed to cash in, he failed to cash in. Okay, I'll give Damien Sandow credit. At least they didn't condemn him for losing the cash-in match because they keep saying, oh, he put on a good performance and whatnot. Of course, that doesn't really make up for the fact that Sandow went into an identity crisis mode, which would have been a good gimmick if they actually addressed it, but instead it was just, oh, let's make fun of Damien Sandow because he has nothing better to do, according to John Cena. He clearly knows what's best for business instead of himself. So, yeah, AJ Styles, yes, he's phenomenal, but can he get a good match out of Baron Corbin? He failed to get a good match out of Jinder Mahal, which should say something. So, Baron Corbin has a lot of work. He's still green. Like, I get he wasn't ready for the WWE Championship in my mind, but being Money in the Bank cash-in, contract holder, or briefcase holder, like they don't want to call it a briefcase anymore, even though it's a freaking briefcase. So I'm like, okay, how can he get a good match? Like, what's the best way to protect him? Because throughout this entire feud, Ty Dillinger's been in the room. Like, why wasn't this not a triple threat match? Like, I would have loved Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles. They should add Ty Dillinger. They probably can still, even though it's past SmackDown and there's no more SmackDowns afterwards until after Hell in a Cell, so they could probably do a creative loop with Daniel Bryan given the opportunity since, oh, you beat Baron Corbin, therefore you're given the opportunity. Add to the fact you were almost screwed on several occasions by Baron Corbin. They could say that. So, and here's the thing, I would have loved if Ty Dillinger beat AJ Styles. That would have been awesome. Because, as all due respect to Styles, I would like to see Ty Dillinger be U.S. champion. Because Ty Dillinger is just so entertaining with the 10 gimmick. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting if he'll be added later at the pay-per-view. But right now, it seems that's not going to happen. But Styles and Corbin, they have the potential to be the second worst match of the night. Or, if not even the worst match of the night. But like I said, there's still a match that might contend with them. Now let's get to Natalya versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. She's doing it. Charlotte's fighting for Ric Flair's honor since Ric Flair got this issue that happened in late August, and she was missing. And then she got the #1 contendership opportunity. And they keep bringing up the Flair versus Hart saga. But they don't talk about their match in NXT. Why? Like, they mentioned the history between the Hart family and the Flair family. But why is the Natalya Charlotte match at NXT TakeOver? I don't remember which one. I think it was the first TakeOver. Not Arrival, TakeOver. Yeah, I believe so. Why wasn't that brung up? Like, it doesn't make sense, and really, I don't get it, but I'm pretty sure you can say NXT, therefore it's the scum of the earth to done. But well, I must stress this is also containing the same woman that had a farting gimmick. Why? So, yeah. Natalya, Charlotte Flair. Okay, Charlotte, she had, last year in Hell in a Cell, she was given the opportunity to main event the show. Not only main event, but steal the show. And not only that, be inside Hell in a Cell with Sasha Banks. There's no way she could top that unless they do Hell in a Cell, but they're not doing that. And given the amount of build-up it had, there is no Hell in a Cell worthy matchup for them. So Charlotte and Natalya, they're not going to steal the show like a lot of people probably were hoping for, but we'll probably get a good match, but not TakeOver level of quality or Hell in a Cell Sasha Banks level of quality. So, yeah, expect, so, yeah, you might get a little disappointed on that. It could be surprising, but you'll still probably be disappointed of the quality. Now let's get to a match that can most likely steal the show, but has to compete with the most likely main event. The New Day, with either Big E and Kofi Kingston or Xavier Woods versus the Usos for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling this was going to happen. Like, considering how long this feud's lasted, it makes sense to end it with this. After the Usos lost the Tag Team Championships after SummerSlam 3 weeks later, yeah. The Usos went ahead and invoked their rematch clause at Hell in a Cell, and then it got reported that it would be a Hell in a Cell match. And for some reason, they were saying they wanted to make it a first time ever, except there was a Hell in a Cell match with tag teams. It was Triple H and Shawn Michaels against The Legacy. And before that, it was Triple H and Shawn Michaels against Big Show, Vince McMahon, and Shane O'Mac in a handicap match. So this isn't really first time ever. So then the New Day, who were sitting in the front row during the Usos Hype Brothers match, said they wanted to defend the tag team titles inside Hell in a Cell, to which the Usos accepted. And then they have one final confrontation, and by God, they're just killing it on the mic. So, yeah, the Usos and New Day, considering that they managed to almost steal the show at SummerSlam being a kickoff show, a match, yeah, they have potential to steal the show here. But they have to compete with a quality storyline and that has interesting characters, a revert to the indie version of himself, and downright brutality for this match. It's not Jinder Mahal or Shinsuke Nakamura. That has got to be the worst build-up. Because here's the problem with this matchup. There's no Hell in a Cell, so the WWE title is worthless again. Okay. And Jinder Mahal, whose character has been saying, "You Americans don't respect diversity," or as he would most likely sound like, "You Americans don't respect diversity," with his growling voice. I'm still questioning that. Why does he have to sound growling all the time? Like, granted, Rowan did that during his early days in the Shield, but even he had quiet moments and just did his facial expressions do the talking. So, yeah, there's a reason why I hate this feud so much. One, Jinder Mahal has become a hypocrite character. He's preached of how America hates is xenophobic towards the rest of the world. And then he goes ahead and be racist towards Japanese. And I'm like, why? And let's get even further. They make fun of the whole seizure-inducing incident with Pokemon, with a banned episode that happened in Japan. That wasn't a good day for everyone in the 90s. But, yeah, they go ahead and reference that, and then they push it further by mocking Shinsuke Nakamura's lineage, and then he says, "You all look the same," and the fans once again were chanting, "That's too far," to the point WWE didn't even air it on WWE YouTube, so clearly they knew, yeah, we fucked up. Like the whole "This Is Your Life" segment with Alexa Bliss was the worst segment ever, so now SmackDown gets to compete with them on that department. So, yeah, this feud has had no substance. Like, Shinsuke Nakamura isn't as good on the microphone. He probably was good in New Japan Pro Wrestling because it was Japanese wrestling, and, well, that's a more fitting environment for him. But, yeah, here in the American audience, who most of them probably don't know what the hell he's saying when he speaks. In fact, even I'm, like, confused of, what? Like on the final SmackDown, he was just spouting out generic advice. So, like, okay, let me get this straight. Jinder Mahal has insulted your country, insulted your people, insulted everyone that suffered from the seizure-inducing episode of Pokemon, And he's insulted your lineage. And you have sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. This is why I keep saying that Don and Vince have some sort of racist, discriminatory agenda towards Triple H guys or indie guys and gals. Oh, and the Singh brothers are involved. No one cares about them. This isn't going to main event the show. If it somehow did main event the show, that would be an insult. And everyone would probably leave the arena beforehand. So, yeah, this had the worst build-up. This will be most likely the worst matchup. And also, it will most likely be the most predictable matchup. You see, even though Jinder Mahal has proven his character is nothing but a hypocritical character, WWE is reportedly considering letting him keep the title till WrestleMania, only to drop it to Cena to make him break Ric Flair's record, which in itself is an insult to me. But yeah, just give it to Nakamura and do Cena versus Nakamura. Like, granted, Cena will try everything in his damnedest to ruin him, but at least we'll get a hell of a good match. Like, even Cena couldn't bring out something out of Jinder Mahal. Instead, Cena just kept ruining him a week before SummerSlam. So, yeah. Okay, and here's the thing. When I look at Jinder Mahal, I see WWE trying to make a PG dieted version of Muhammad Hassan. I said this months ago before Backlash that it looked like they were going with a Muhammad Hassan type. But here's the thing that Muhammad Hassan did that they were trying to do at the beginning with Jinder Mahal, but then backed out and just went xenophobic on him. Hassan had something called a weapon. It was a very dangerous weapon. Something that even today people in general don't like to talk about. It is called common sense and logic. Wow! That forbidden thing that no one knows about besides Alpha Omega Sid and some other bunch of people that probably know what that word means, but it's quite uncommon. It's very mythical and whatnot. It's a myth, apparently. Yeah, you can blame Alpha Omega Sid for that part. But, like, yeah, considering how everything is in this day and age, I'm not surprised. So that's why I really did love Muhammad Hassan. It felt like a character of the times and also ahead of its time. And the only thing that stopped him from really reaching his potential was the timing of the London bombings. Sad. And sad for what happened. So let's get to the main event of the show. Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens inside Hell in a Cell. So, okay, after Shane McMahon being referee for the US title at SummerSlam and inadvertently costing Kevin Owens, okay. A frustrated Owens shoved Shane, who shoved back, allowing Styles to defeat Owens to retain the title. And on the following SmackDown, Shane gave one final opportunity for Owens to get a title shot and allowed him to pick the referee for the match. Owens chose Baron Corbin, and during the match, Shane took over referee duties after interfering in the match again. Styles took advantage and defeated Owens, and therefore he's forbidden from going after the title until Styles loses it. So 2 weeks later, Shane attacked Owens after warning him not to talk about his children. His wife, that's okay, but when they decided to go with Death Angles, with Kevin Owens wishing that Shane had died in the helicopter landing. Yeah. Then afterwards, Shane McMahon gets suspended for his assault by WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. The following week, Vince called out Owens, reinstated Shane, and scheduled a Hell in a Cell match between the two. Owens agreed on the condition that Vince will allow him to beat to McMahon's senseless if provoked. After agreeing and shaking hands, oh boy, I talked about this in a video beforehand. That was the most beautiful, epic thing I've ever seen. Especially considering how things have turned out with Vince McMahon's mentality. So, yeah, Stephanie McMahon never factored into this. So basically, her appearance was pretty much worthless. Than the cliche, "Oh, we gotta have Stephanie react to Vince's beatdowns," like every single time nowadays. And that was her first major appearance on TV since WrestleMania. So, the following week, Shane McMahon comes out, walks, is all business, and then cuts a promo that had a mixed response from people online. Some were saying, like, yeah, that sounds appropriate, and the others were like, yeah, it felt too much like Vince wrote that line, where Shane said that he condemned Owens to Hell in a Cell, and the beating he's gonna give him. Yeah. Then that same night, Owens via satellite apologized, and if this was a vlog, I'd be putting quotations in the air. He apologized for attacking Vince, but blamed Shane for his actions, and then they went religious a little bit when saying, like, people like me, you're gonna condemn me to hell, Shane? No, people like me, we go to heaven. And I'm like, there is so much biblical stuff I could go into, but I'm pretty sure I'll piss off the religious nutjobs of the world. So then Owens fought Sami Zayn. After Sami Zayn cut a promo on Owens saying he went too far, and as the two fought, they were stopped by as the two were about to fight, they were stopped by General Manager Daniel Bryan, who scheduled a match between the two. Owens defeated Zayn after a referee stoppage after a powerbombing on the ring apron. Okay, this is where I felt, wait, this isn't Kevin Owens. Because, okay, after his beatdown on Vince, which was awesome still, we start seeing something in Owens that we probably might never see again. We weren't seeing Fight Owens fight, or Raw's version of Owens, which was Cower Owens Cower. We were seeing Kill Steen Kill. That's right. We were seeing a snapped version of Kill Steen Kill. Kevin Steen. And it was beautiful. Like, when after he had powerbombed Sami Zayn, there was just this long silence of Sami Zayn in pain. And Kevin was just sitting on the announce table, looking all calm and euphoric of what was going through his mind. And then his face turned into a snarl and just tried to nearly kill Sami Zayn. And when Shane McMahon tried to stop him, he attempted to go after Owens, but Owens threw Zayn into Shane and fled through the crowd. And I was like, oh my god, that's not Kevin Owens, that's Kevin Steen. We're seeing Kevin Steen now. All we need is to bring back the pile driver, and it would be complete. So, yeah, that was awesome. And then we got to the final SmackDown where we saw more glimpses of Kevin Steen nearly attempting to destroy Shane. And Shane McMahon made the announcement that Hell in a Cell would now be a Falls Count Anywhere match inside Hell in a Cell. Which means only one thing. This is to promote the video game, most likely. Now, I am both excited yet extremely nervous for this match. One hand, I wanted Kevin Owens to win, specifically because this could be very big for him. But the Universal title was big for him, and then they ruined it because, oh, he's fat mentality, or Dunn's being an idiot. But there's just one major problem. I'm glad they haven't announced this yet, but they'll probably will in the coming after Hell in a Cell or during Hell in a Cell. It's been reported that Kevin Owens might be going back to Raw. I've said this on Twitter a lot. I was furious when I heard this on Twitter. I tweeted my displeasure. I said, that would be a bad business move. Like, why kill something good going on just to go put him back on Raw? Because take a look who are the top heels on Raw. We got Braun Strowman, we got The Bar, we got an injured Samoa Joe who will be back later, we got Brock Lesnar, who's part-time, so he doesn't count to me, and that's it. Like, there are a bunch of other heels, but no one really cares about them. Well, maybe Enzo, but still. And Kevin Owens would be in that clutter, and let's see how many heels are on SmackDown. We got Baron Corbin, who's floundering. We got the Usos, who are tag teams. We got Dolph Ziggler, who might be leaving. We got the confusing Rusev. We got the hypocritical Jinder Mahal, who is also failing. Kevin Owens is the only legitimate heel we have. In the singles division, at least. So, yeah, like, if they traded him, who would they replace? Like, it'd be weird if they bring back The Miz. Like, granted, it would be awesome, but Bryan would probably be against it. Unless they build up a match, then he'd be all for it. But I'm thinking, oh, there's just so much wrong with that. Like, there's no feuds left for him on Raw. They'll just bury him to all the other heels and faces. He'll be floundering in mid-card again. And I'm like, why? Also, I would have also said Bray Wyatt, but let's be honest, who cares at this point? And I'll talk about Bray Wyatt during the TLC build, because I have a lot to say on that. What happened on Raw. So, yeah, Kevin Owens would flounder on Raw. Like, the only, quote, real feud he has left is with Triple H. And considering what he did to Vince, and Triple H's support of Vince, in storyline at least, I don't know about real life still, that would be the only feud left. So, really, what's gonna happen? Like, I hope Kevin Owens stays on SmackDown. Like, they could probably do something with him after he beats the holy hell out of Shane. And they're hinting that they might go on top of the cell and get sent to the Falls Count Anywhere match. They might end the match on top of the structure. So, yeah. Shane McMahon and Kevin Steen, because I'm calling him Kevin Steen for the foreseeable future until creative does something stupid. They're most likely going to steal the show. They have to compete with the tag team match in order to Hell in a Cell match in order to see how that goes. But they have the huge opportunity to steal the show. They have the story, they have the motivations, they have the brutality, and the New Day and the Usos have the storyline, but not the brutality side. So they have a chance. So those two matches have the opportunity to steal the show. So it's going to be an interesting Hell in a Cell pay-per-view if things go the way they should go, in my mind. I really hope Kevin Steen wins because, oh my god, that would be so awesome, and especially how they'll build him up afterwards. Like, he could probably replace Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion. In fact, I almost welcome it at this point. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. And there is Carmella after the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase, but I don't know if they're going to do that yet. So we'll see. So those were my thoughts on the build-up to Hell in a Cell 2017. I'm expecting Kevin Steen and Shane McMahon to steal the show and Kevin Steen to win. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.